One woman was willing to go to for her man.
DEIGO admits that this robbery had been planned for months, and the mastermind wasn't him. It wasn't Shondell.
She was willing to do whatever it took in order to accomplish the goal.
That is insane. But it's not a lie. It's definitely the truth. You see it all the time. If it's not you, then you know somebody that's in the situation similar. These people have no self-esteem, probably no goals. No, I can't even say no goals, because a lot of them, they do have goals. They just don't have any pride and self-esteem and self-worth and shit. Like, I mean, and then they'll have people that talk up for them and speak up for them and shit, like, yeah, you know, they really weren't that kind of person and they were just looking for love. Like, looking for love in all the fucking wrong places does not fucking count, bro. Like, that shit, that's not love, and that's not looking for love. Like, you're demented and fucked up, my nigga. Like, if you feel like you need to take somebody's life, anybody's life, for a piece of sour dick or some sour pussy. I'm serious. Like, I mean, you ready to fucking kill somebody for a cheating, murdering, fucking psychopath that would eventually, or will eventually, turn his hand on you and slap the living shit out of you. Word, slap the nigga right out your ass. But you'll still be with him. Word. He'll be driving around looking for a bitch to rape, and you'll be sucking his dick in the fucking passenger side. Like, I mean, I have no remorse and no sorrow for fucking idiots. I really don't. And I have personally been through so much and have had so much experience that I feel very justified saying the things that I say, because like I've been in situations like, and it's stuff like this, these shows that like they just help put the key in the ignition to keep on going straight and forward and everything, because I've been around so many dummies and fools that I've given up a lot of things in life. Know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to not being right. Know what I'm saying? Like, if I fight, I want to be right. And I'll just leave it at that. Know what I mean? I don't need to go through a whole fucking list of shit. I just don't like dummies. And I don't like fools. And I have grown to resent fucking idiots. And I won't tolerate them in my circumference. I mean, seriously, I have no remorse for yous. You're all running around, you're acting crazy. You're wooking panub. You're wooking panub in all the wrong places, and you want some empathy and sympathy.
But when they press him for more info, he drops a bombshell.
He told the police up front that Erica was the mastermind of the person that had set up this entire scheme.
Erica Stokes, she dated Charles Kendall Ford, who is DEIGO Bailey's older brother. They had a relationship. They very much loved each other.
This robbery was planned to aid his brother Charles, who was in jail in Colorado on a murder charge.
DEIGO says Erica wanted Charles back and was beyond devastated when he was locked up.
She experienced depression, grief.
She couldn't come up with this money to get her man out of jail.
Erica told Diego she couldn't go on without Charles in her life.
We call that a love addiction. You have to be with him no matter what, whatever it takes, even if it means doing harm to someone else.
That's more than an addiction. That's like,
Diego
that's just
says Erica came to him with the robbery.
failure. That's what that is, bro.
That money
That's a failure.
High-priced attorney and for bail money.
And if you feel like that,
Erica knew that the only way
the
she could
fucking
get this
same
much
thing
money
applies.
quickly is to do something
That shit is
dirty
a
and grimy.
fucking failure, bro.
Diego recruited Shondell, his friend.
If I was locked up forever,
do this robbery.
I wouldn't expect no bitch to be trying to break me out, pay for me, nothing, bro. Like, know what I mean? And I'm sure, I guess, I'm sure he didn't put her up to it or whatever, but I mean, shit, come on.
And bring him in for questioning. He admits to playing a small role in the robbery.
I mean, when you do shit, deal. That's, I mean, you know the consequences, man.
Say, I wasn't even present.
And everybody that's linked up to you knows the consequences, man.
Diego's the one that did the shooting.
Completely opposite of what Diego told him.
And the kids that died,
know which one's telling the truth or somewhere.
what did they die for?
But they both had different interpretations.
They talking about that they got back in the car, didn't have no money, no jewels, no shoes, no nothing,
Put everything as far as the planning,
except for the shoes that they came there with.
on Eric.
So what was the purpose, really?
Police still aren't sure who pulled the trigger, but they feel confident Erica Stokes holds the key to solving the case.
And even if they did get money from it,
Didn't have enough
that would be enough to
actually
pay
have
and
Eric
bond the
Stokes
murderer out?
Detectives are hoping phone calls between Erica
Come on,
and her
bro.
incarcerated boyfriend, Charles, will shed more light on her involvement.
Erica kept in constant contact with Charles while he was incarcerated. They talked almost every day, sometimes multiple times during the day.
When you're an inmate in jail, every time you call somebody, the jail records those calls.
Facts. When I get locked up,
Working with authorities
and
in
especially
Colorado,
if I know I'm about to get locked up,
investigators are able to
if I'm
obtain
talking
more
to a
than
girl
18 hours of recorded phone
or
conversations
am acquainted
between
with the
Erica
girl,
and Charles.
I make sure that they don't think that we're together. Because I first of all, I don't trust you. I wouldn't trust you. I wouldn't put myself in the position. I have, won't ever do it
She
again.
was willing to do whatever she could to get her man back by her side.
And it
You in there
seems
going
Erica's
upside
method
somebody's
was
head because of some
to get
fucking
back to
clown
her.
bitch
Whatever
on the outside.
you gotta do, we're gonna have to do it.
But I mean, that's some gangster shit. Ride or die.
She couldn't come up with this money.
I don't know about
to pay
anything
for
else.
And to pay for high-powered
Besides fucking
She
idiotic.
indicates, I have this job, but I'm not making enough money to be able to really help.
So we're gonna go kill these two kids over here that does parties for nothing.
You know,
Get no money, go get nothing. We just gonna kill them, and maybe my man will get fucking unchained and unloosed on
One
society.
in particular is especially damning.
She actually talks about the robbery, saying, we already got it all mapped out. She also says Charles' brother, Diego, is going to assist in it.
your brother called today talking about, getting money. And he was like, we're gonna get back, I'm gonna come talk to you face to face. I'm gonna get my brother out of there.
The recordings are critical evidence against Erica. But it's her contact with her boyfriend's brother Diego that seals the deal.
Investigators get Erica's cell phone records, and it reveals these text messages going on right around the time of the murder.
They see Diego and Erica texting back and forth over 100 times.
Those text messages basically revealed a step-by-step of everything that was going on that evening.
Erica's in the home talking about what she sees.
She's telling them how much money's in there, what's going on. More importantly, one text in particular says, get ready, as in, get ready to make a move.
Now investigators have proof beyond a doubt that Erica.
So a dude gets into a fight with another guy, pulls out a gun, and shoots him to death.
This was a stone cold, straight up home invasion.
Like a coward.
And 2 people were murdered.
And then you got a woman setting up 2 guys, like you're in their house setting them up, casing them out.
Murder and aggravated assault. Detectives believe Diego Bailey, Shondell Ford Bradley, and Erica are all equally responsible for the murders. But there's still a question about the involvement of Erica's friend, Kendra.
They're not sure if Kendra knew about the robbery plot or if Erica was just using
And then you be having these guys, they specifically go after certain people
With her back against
like
the wall,
that, so that they, you know what I'm saying? Like they'll have a fan club, whether or not it's that one person or a couple. They'll just have that one fan club person that'll stick with them until the day that they die. Go to the grave, go get locked up with you and everything. While you're in there getting your ass tore up and niggas' fingers in your butt, these bitches want to be with you. They want to love you and come visit you and give you kisses on your lips and shit. But
the suspected mastermind behind a robbery gone bad that left 2 young men dead from a hail of gunfire.
what? I'm sorry for laughing, but what says like 2 dead men for nothing at all? Like, I mean, there's story after story, but we're on this one right now.
She just knew the evidence was too strong against her.
She says, in exchange for my testimony, will you agree not to give me the death penalty?
I thought she was gonna say, will you agree to let my man go?
She tells them exactly what happened.
I'd have been like, yeah.
She begins to tell her story.
What's your story?
She admits that it was her that came up with the idea. She'd been planning it for over a month.
Erica targeted JP and Will because she thought that it would be an easy lick.
She enlisted the help of Diego because he always had guns, so she knew he would be the muscle.
Diego then brought in his buddy, Shondell.
And she's such a loving person, such a loving person that in the midst of all of her lusting love,
Will and JP,
and in the midst of this whole story,
there was lots of cash that was
everybody forgets about those 3 little kids that's sitting at home or wherever they're sitting right now.
They would go to the house party.
Everybody forgets about that. But this shit is all about love
And Diego
and fucking passion and fucking whatever else besides fucking imbecile idiot shit. Like, I'm sorry for getting like, I'm sorry for getting so passionate over here. Like, but it's
Erica
just
says
sickening.
when they arrived at the house, JP let the women into the party, just as Erica had planned.
You love a nigga so much, you go kill 2 people for nothing, and now your kids have nobody.
While the girls were inside, Diego and Shondell set up in the backyard.
They're outside behind the house.
I wonder if they felt cool at this moment right here.
Erica admitted that she was actually texting Diego.
Like if they felt like they was like
money was there,
in
who was
juice.
located where, and what time to actually strike.
By 4 a.m., Erica and Kendra were the only guests left at the party. Erica texted Diego.
Felt like they was in Shatters or some shit.
Where Diego and Shondell could hold them up at gunpoint. Erica says that's where her plan took an unexpected detour.
Gunfire erupts and she gets scared and they take off running.
And we talking semi-automatic weapons too.
She was adamant that this was supposed to be a straight up just robbery.
You needed that much gun power
was not supposed to be a part of
to kill 2 innocent people that weren't armed.
Just panicked.
Yo, man.
Will and JP are dead.
I'm sorry
And it's just for nothing.
laughing.
And that's just a shame.
Because I'm not really laughing.
Their families are without them for absolutely nothing.
Erica says she has no idea why Diego and Shondell opened fire. She also stands by her previous statement that the men threatened her after the shooting. Detectives believe that Erica is telling the truth and seems remorseful of her actions.
But at that point, it's way too late. You've set a series of events in motion that led to the death of 2 people.
She committed this crime for Charles because she felt like he was the only person that really loved and cared for her.
You guys sound like you really understand too.
Erica is charged with 2 counts.
Like
of
you're
felony
sympathetic
murder.
and shit.
Diego and Shondell, they were also charged with 2 counts of felony murder.
As for Kendra Moore, she is charged with concealing a death after the fact.
Even though Kendra didn't know about the robbery plot, she didn't get help for the victims after the fact. She could have called the police, but she didn't.
As Erica's case makes its way through the courts, what price will she pay for her devotion to Charles?
Clearly, she was the person that was the catalyst for what happened, and the consequences were going to need to be grave for her.
I would love to know if them niggas thought or felt like they was in Scarface or Belly or some kind of fucking souped up fucking movie, or maybe they thought they was like some kind of Marvel characters at the time or something, creeping through the bushes with semi-automatic weapons to get the drop on people that you don't even need to get the drop on. You could have probably went and put them niggas in headlocks, bro. Facts. You got guns like that? You know, there's no need for... I mean, once you got weapons like that, it's like... The weapon thing, it just turns into a thing that's not needed. Like, I'm serious. Shit, that's security or something, man. Like, you could have put them niggas in a headlock, DDT'd them. You know what I'm saying? Off the top rope on them, know what I mean? Went in their pockets, pushed them around, and took their shit. Like, did you feel like you was like cool, or like you felt the wind breezing through your hair, like, and you thought that like after this shit right here, like, yeah, man, we gonna be motherfucking OGs on top of the motherfucking world, and you go there to rob and don't even get no money, like. What were you feeling at that moment?
You don't ever want to put yourself in a situation for someone's love. You have to know that you're worth it, that you deserve better, and then once you become better for who you are for yourself, you will want better and you will seek better out of someone else.
I have no pity for you people. And I just want to make this clear. I'm serious. Like, I'm not no fucking Jigaboo or Uncle Tom or nothing like that. I'm just a motherfucker that I don't take shit. If I was a judge or a fucking dictator or something, like, it would be heads chopped off all over the place. I'm serious, man. Like, I mean, I understand certain things, know what I mean? Like, you need fucking food and you need to steal something or take something. Like, there's certain things that I do understand, but I just don't tolerate foolishness, and I won't. And I am a judge. I'm the judge of my own throne and the king of my own throne, B. So, like, that's why I don't have things around me. Like, people shit like that, like, I get them far away from me if they think like that. If I know that they think like that. And if you come around me, then more than likely there's going to be a problem. Know what I mean? Unless you talking money or something that I want to hear that don't involve fucking a bunch of idiotic choices. I'm serious. They're looking for love. Like, do you know that shit that you find you're looking for, it finds you, whatever the fuck it is, that, I mean, and especially when results in something like that, like you could have found that on the corner of your block. You could have went for a walk. You got a dog? Go walk your dog. Like the first motherfucker you see, you should be on him. The first motherfucker that even talks to you or shows you some kind of attention, you should be on him. Like I mean, really, just balance it out or weigh it out. I mean, unless that's what you want. If you want to find somebody that's going to drag you down to the depths of hell with them so you could go serve time with them, then go do it. But you could have found that at any corner store. You could have found that at any gas station sitting there asking for a couple of fucking pennies or dimes, bro. That would be better than that.
Definitely committed this crime for her man.
So not only did you have Erica wanting to help Charles get out of jail in Colorado, you had his brother, Diego, wanting to help. So they were the perfect match for this robbery.
With their trials looming, Erica
What robbery?
pleads guilty, as
Was
does
there
her
something
friend,
robbed?
Kendra Moore, and hired gun Shondell Ford Bradley.
Kendra Moore, Erica Stokes, and Shondell all agreed to plea deals in exchange for their testimony against Diego Bailey. Diego wanted to go to trial.
Diego said he didn't do it. He said Shondell is the one that actually shot Will and JP.
He insisted on holding fast to the statement that he had given to police that he had abandoned his role.
On June 22, 2009, Diego Bailey's trial gets underway.
At trial, all three, Shondell, Erica, and Kendra, testified against Diego about what had happened.
But Diego's defense attorney holds steady and maintains Diego's innocence.
During that trial, Diego gave the defense that he never went up to the house. He stayed in the car.
He says it was actually Shondell who whipped out and did the shooting.
Prosecutors refute the claims and cite the ballistic evidence.
At the crime scene, we had two different shell casings. One was consistent with being shot out of a rifle, and the one was fired out of a handgun. Yes, it's possible to fire an assault rifle and a handgun at the same time, but not likely.
Yeah, right?
Crime scene analysts had determined
Rambo.
that the shell casings
They went over there with and Rambo them.
Trajectories and distances.
That's pretty clear-cut evidence that you have two assailants that are firing weapons at the victims.
In November of 2010, a jury finds Diego Bailey guilty of malice murder, felony murder, and aggravated assault, along with conspiracy to commit an armed robbery and possession of a firearm during a crime.
The judge hammered him and gave him 2 life sentences.
As for Shondell and Erica, they each pled guilty to 2 counts of murder, and each received life sentences.
Unlike Diego Bailey, though, their sentences were concurrent with each other. So someday they might see the light of day and might get some parole.
They just wanted at least a shot at not dying in prison. So I believe that's why they agreed to their plea deals. That maybe one day they have the possibility of getting out on parole.
I believe that that's better than killing
Kendra
people.
Moore pleads guilty to 1
Word.
count of concealing.
Let them live and then let them come out when they're like 80, 83, crawling and breathing their last breath and shit.
Ford, the man who Erica's robbery plot was originally designed to help avoid a lengthy prison stay. He is currently serving 46 years for the murder he committed in Denver in 2008. Charles is never charged in connection to the murders of J.P. Bell and Wilder Lott.
Erica was the mastermind. Charles was not charged as a party to the crime.
Regardless, authorities feel like they finally have justice for the victim's family.
I wouldn't call that a
That's how I
mastermind.
got to the resolution.
I wouldn't
To
even
find that peace and that justice for Will and JP,
give a
so that
person
they
the
can
satisfaction
have a little bit of closure.
or the compliment of saying that that's a mastermind. Like
Erica
that's
threw away her entire life. She threw away her kids, her chance at being a mom for a guy who was halfway across the country in jail for a murder. She herself now sits in prison for the rest of her life.
Her kids are now being raised by relatives, and sadly, they may never see their mother again outside of prison.
Mastermind.
She did it out of love, out of trying to save.
And would you
someone,
please stop saying that?
And trying to save Charles.
You don't know what love is.
Damned herself.
Love doesn't do that shit. For real. If a man was innocent and you wanted to go help him out and shit like that, that's love. You know what I'm saying? That's not love.
Desperation.
You didn't even know that man long enough to say that you loved him. Like, tell me that that's not fucking sense and not common sense. Tell me that that's not fucking true knowledge and the truth. Like, you can't love somebody in the matter of a couple of months. For real. And let alone a murderer. Somebody that'll just shoot somebody because you got into a fight with him. And then on the show, they show him getting the best of the guy and then he shoots him. He probably shot him because the dude was beating his ass. Like, know what I mean? The fuck out of here. Then on top of it, you don't just go to people's house. Like, people, they're having parties, they're throwing parties. Like, obviously, them niggas was doing their thing, making money, know what I mean? Doing shit that, know what I'm saying? Other people obviously don't have the fucking resources or the fucking ability or the mind to do, know what I'm saying? They like entrepreneurs, know what I mean? They sitting there doing their thing, yo. Know what I mean? And they not, it wasn't out on the corner selling drugs or hurting nobody or nothing. They was in their house having fucking house parties, and you gonna have some random motherfucker, and she probably knew him too. You gonna go case their house out like a fucking basehead and fucking set them up and whatever, if you plan to get them killed or not, but they get killed in the fucking process. And you people are talking about that shit is out of love. Like, that shit is like, that's what haters do. Word the mother, haters do shit like that. Know what I mean? Like, you just happen to pick them. Like, know what I mean? That's some hater shit, bro. Facts. On top of everything else. Doing it for love. Yeah. Well, you stay in there. Both of y'all in love. Facts. Them two kids got family too. Mother, father, probably brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts and uncles, grandparents. Know what I mean? You sitting there talking about love for some motherfucker that's shooting motherfuckers for no reason. Like, nigga, please. I done seen so many of these shows. I watch everybody now. Everything that I do, everywhere I go, I'm looking for you. Like, cause they're all out there. They're ready to set you up at the store. You go to the laundromat, there's somebody in the parking lot. They want to steal your purse or take your fucking wallet or slash your tires or something. You leave your house, you got people plotting on you and shit. Like, know what I mean? I'm always looking. And these shows, they should keep your awareness up. For real. You gotta be aware of these motherfuckers and ready with a fucking fly swatter.
In front, it's me. If not, it's Terrell.
Patricia was utterly and totally dominated by this man. And some single moms who don't have many options may feel that someone who perhaps has the answer, they have to go along with whatever that person may say in order to continue to get their affection.
After some time, Terrell gets his ankle monitor removed. And with his newfound freedom, things for Patricia only get worse when he reveals his sadistic fantasy.
One evening, Terrell presented the idea that they were going to kidnap LaToya. The plan was for Terrell to rape LaToya while Patricia watched.
She didn't have anyone else, nowhere else to turn, and what he got her to do was outrageous. They weren't close anymore, so Patricia had to wean her way back in, come up with all these different lies, and allow LaToya to feel sorry for her in order to get back into her good graces.
LaToya agrees to meet her friend. They make a date to have dinner, and Patricia tells her that she'll head over shortly to pick her up.
Patricia drove to LaToya's house and dropped Terrell off at the corner of LaToya's street. LaToya had come out of her home and had gotten into the front passenger side of Patricia's car.
Patricia asked LaToya to look up directions to a restaurant on her phone. And while LaToya was looking down, Terrell shows up at the passenger side door with the toy gun that looked completely real and scared the hell out of LaToya.
In the back.
The frightened woman. Quick.
And Patricia was so ashamed, so embarrassed, she couldn't make eye contact with her. She looked forward and never even looked at her.
In the back.
I think it all hit her right then and there. Look what I have done.
Afraid for her life, LaToya
exited the rear and proceeded to start running home screaming for help. Terrell chased her, pistol whipped her, and carried her back to the car.
All the while, Patricia sits in the car, completely numb.
Things were out of her control at that moment. She really didn't know what Terrell was going to do. So she just sat quietly and prayed that she didn't get hurt.
Terrell forced her into the trunk, snatched her phone out of her hand, and proceeded to speed off towards the freeway, trancing out of the hands of Terrell.
So she made a split decision to jump out onto the road.
Unbeknownst to the couple, a terrified LaToya uses every ounce of faith and strength that she has and leaps from the trunk.